What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with JesseW, and today we got a nice day trading recap with a good lesson, the importance of being a diverse trader, and I got a live trade for you. Check it out. All right, guys, we're going to jump into this day here. Now, today was an interesting day because small caps didn't look all that well. All of a sudden now I just started to notice a few of them went crazy, like two stocks that hadn't really done anything today or much yesterday, but nothing else was popping off, so they went insane. Regardless of the fact, in the early morning session, things weren't moving all that well. So took one red trade in the morning, and then I was looking and hunting for some opportunity and found it in Peloton. So we're going to jump into those trade recaps and the live trade here. But before we do me a quick favor. Smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And make sure to check out the daytraderchatroom.com. I'm going to leave you a link in the description and comment section. You can join us free on Mondays, or you can come check out the entire thing for $5 just for 5 days. And you're going to get access to a dashboard with resources and some courses. All right. So come check us out. We do a lot over here at the daytraderchatroom.com. Now let's go ahead and jump into these charts. All right, guys, so here is the first trade of the day. We had ATNX. This one had 75 million shares in the float. It has plans to acquire Cure Therapeutics, watching for $5 area to hold support, and has a gap entry over $6. And that's all right here on the dashboard in your watch list. So this morning, ATNX, right, it comes out here and it holds just underneath $5 and goes straight up move, big, huge volume, continuously increasing every time it pushed higher. Then it finally settles down. Right in here on this first little pullback to VWAP, I take a little starter position. Then on this candle right here, when it gets bought right back up, I saw so much buying pressure stepping in there that I was like, okay, that's it. This is the sign I wanted. So I add to full size at that point on the trade. Now, when I add there to full size, I'm expecting this trade to fully trigger. So my stop went from being, let me see my alert here. My stop went from being 530, okay, from being 530 area, it went to being right around 540. Okay, the previous low of this candle and VWAP, that area, because I'm expecting it now to just boom, right? Make a move right through the highs. That's what I'm expecting. So we get a quick push to a new high basically there, right in front of the high day, which was at 567 at the time. I take 568. I take some profit off at 567. All right, let me take a look here. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, 567 was my alert at 9:47 a.m. I take some profits off. Then I hold on to the bulk of my position, looking for a move towards $6, where I was going to knock off another chunk of profits, right? It doesn't do that. We get this nasty candle right here, and as soon as we do, I cut it loose and I'm out of it. Now, mind you, my stop was no longer 530, it was 540, so I take a much smaller loss on that. So I cut that one off there, and by taking this piece of profit off up here and then cutting my loss right in here, my loss overall was much smaller than I had anticipated, right? Much smaller, because I did all those things there. So instead of being red, let's say, you know, let's just use some trivial numbers here. Instead of being red $200, in this case I was red 100, all right? Because my loss was cut by 50%, because I took some profits off up here and I moved my stop up since the trade had triggered and I fully expected to move towards $6. Now, what did it do afterwards? It set in basically a double top right here. And now the stock is just lollygagging around. Now, this is not bad action, because as long as we can hold above $5, it's got tremendous potential today to get back up and over that $6 area, which 620 more or less is your gap entry point. And then you have this giant area that you can fill the gap. Obviously, I don't expect it to fill this gap today. All right, that would be insanity. I do not expect that to happen. Now, at the time that this happened, okay, at the time that this happened, I thought to myself, okay, small caps aren't doing much. At that time, they weren't doing much. All right. At the time, RHE was not doing this by any stretch of the imagination. It was starting to pull back a little bit harder than expected. So ever since then, it obviously went absolutely insane. You know, we talked about RHE. We said as long as it held certain levels here above, like, what was it, 11 or 12 bucks, it can make a move back to 15. I didn't think it would go to 20 bucks, but hey, there you go. This thing went absolutely insane today. I mean, you can always watch for pullbacks down here to 15 again, but maybe 18 area could be watched as well. So RHE wasn't doing that, right? It just wasn't doing that. And MRD was getting itself a little bit of a pump, and then it was just disappearing, as you see. So we had a few others on watch, like VERU, and it was doing this type of action. So I was like, okay, man, these small caps, they're not trading the greatest today. And yesterday, they weren't trading the best. So I said, what's left? So I started scanning. You guys were with me. We looked at the SPY. We looked at Tesla. And then I came on over to Peloton. And at the time, wow, what a nice dump on Peloton there. At the time, Peloton was right around here, around this green candle. And I said, guys, I'm looking to short the very first, rejection of this bounce attempt on Peloton, because this is the first bounce on Peloton. You can see it just sold off all morning long. And then one of you guys in chat let me know that it had a recall because of all the issues with one of the machines and unfortunate accidents. So I was like, okay, we've known that this thing had that head and shoulders pattern on the daily, has the death cross occurring on the daily, okay? We had a swing trade cooking on this one. I closed it out yesterday for a nice little win, and I'm like, okay, I already made some profits on the swing trade. I have no open position on it. We have this nasty sell-off. We have the first bounce attempt. I gotta analyze this chart. So we analyze the chart, and we see that around this $92 to $93 area, we have previous, what? Check it out. Support on the daily. Check it out. Watch when we put this line here around 92, 93 bucks. Look at that line up right there. I'm like, okay, beautiful. I throw out my fib levels. We have the 9 EMA, we have VWAP, we have the 38.2 Fibonacci, okay? And we have that daily level. We have 4 levels all combining right there in front of that area. Like, bet, this is the one. I have to take this trade. If I don't take this trade, I'm not going to forgive myself. All right, so right in here, as soon as we start rejecting VWAP, I open up a starter position on some put options. I get the February 7th, okay, I get the February 7th, $90 strike put options. Right there, I open up the position, and I'm in on those at 420. More or less, my average was in the 420 area, and I start to just monitor the trade, watch it, and then right on this candle right here, I believe it was, I add to my position. Okay, I add to my position, and I'm in now basically full size, and I'm looking to write it down. As we start to write down, I start taking profits off the table. I start taking profits off here, there, right, throughout the whole thing. And I have the live trade recorded. I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. And booking profits all the way through until this candle right here. Once we got this candle right here in front of the low of day, I was like, all right, I'm just going to get flat right there. And I get flat right there. Nice gain. This trade alone brought me well back into the green on the day. Good risk management. It bounces off of that. And then I was taking care of a bunch of things. I couldn't really attend to it anymore, which is sad because we got that action. We got that action there. Okay, and I think this one can go lower today. I think this one can go down to like the low 80s. Alrighty, I really do. While I was out there actually with my wife looking at the dog and stuff like that, I grabbed my phone and I did buy right in here. I did buy one more put while I was out there in the living room, and looking to see, this one I bought it with next week's expiration, looking to see if I can write a little bit lower. All right, so that one right there was the winning trade of the day. And let me grab the live recording here and I'll show it to you. Here's the trade. I'm in 4 contracts at 425 cost basis. I have added to it. My initial entry was 420 with my starter, and I added another couple contracts. So I'm in 425, and I do add more to it. This trade took a while to come to fruition. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. As you can see, this bounce attempt is on smaller volume here, right? So it's a weak bounce attempt comparable to the volume on the drop. So that shows me that it's a weak bounce attempt right into that resistance zone we talked about. So right here, we get back up there. And that's when I told you guys, you know, if it breaks above 92 and the volume's strong, I'm just going to get out of it. I'm going to cut it. So I'm really watching to see if that area is going to hold resistance. Once I get a little bit of confirmation on the resistance, I get confident and I add. What I want you to notice is this attempt here to break through. Look at the volume continuously decreasing. That's a telltale sign of weakness. Right there I add. I'm like, okay, but that's it. This is done. This should roll over and start to pay out some profit. So I add. Now I have 6 contracts. And I'm looking to take profits as we dump. You can see my new cost average is 429, and these are going off at 465. You see right here, down here, this is the options chain. This is the contract I'm in. Now these contracts didn't have the best volume. They had the second best volume, 7,500. They had the best open interest at 3,100. Now these are things I go over in the options course in the dashboard. Make sure you take advantage of that if you're a member of the daytraderchatroom.com. We start to get a little bit of extension there. I take 1 contract off, so I have 5. We get further downside there for a minute. I put out an order on the ask, and I get a fill for 2 more contracts off the table, right there at $5. Those are gone. Now I have 3 contracts. Oh, I had 3. I sell 1 more right there. Believe I got that 520 fill that you see right there on the options chain. That's the last traded contract. You see right here it says last trade. So now I got 2 contracts left. I'm already up $160 on just 2 contracts. Now I got 1 contract, took 1 off again. And now I was going to be extra greedy with that one. I was going to see if we can get through the low there. We don't get through the low. We get all the way down there. We don't get through the low and we begin to bounce here in front of the low. And I'm like, oh man, all right, I'm just going to cut it. I won't be extra greedy. I cut it there, boom. And that was it. That was my nice little trade there. That trade brought me well back into the green on the day. So like not only did that trade knock off that little red I had, but that trade made it so that today's a nice little home run day. I'll take it, you know, I'll take it any day of the week. All right, guys, so here, this recap here and this trade, live trade shows you the importance of being a diverse trader. Because had I just sat here and written off the morning because I didn't like any of the small caps that I was looking at, because I didn't like them, and I just like, that's it, I'm not going to trade today, then I would have made no money today. Instead, I stayed the plan, I stayed the course, and I found new opportunity. And this time, instead of trading a small cap stock that's moving up on news, I traded a larger cap stock with options and nailed it, right? That's the importance of being a diverse trader, guys. If you want to be a diverse trader, come on over to daytraderchatroom.com. The courses I put out go through everything from small caps to large caps to options. Now we have the swing trading course that just dropped this week. In the summer, we're going to have a shorting course. It's going to go over shorting strategies just like the one I used here on Peloton. So come on over to daytraderchatroom.com and you'll be happy that you did. All right, guys, remember to smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload my next video. And I'll catch you on the next one.